Hello and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. I'm your host, and I am tired. Or I will be. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's drive this podcast home. So, I've been deliberating this, and I've come to the genius decision to go back to one-time recordings, except for specials and such. Because I'm lazy, and also I want to do stuff in the morning. Or I might want to do stuff in the morning, or just like listen to music on the way to work. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll record in the mornings, but I'm probably going to record the way home. But yeah, so hopefully it should take long enough. It takes long enough if I have to drive really slow, but that's really wishy-washy. Because that is not going to happen during the summer. But yeah, no. Big news, worldwide news. Everyone's heard of it. Oh gosh, what is today? It must be the 5th or 6th today. Because it's been a couple days. But anyway, Venezuela has been freed from its dictator. Yeah, unelected official dictator. You know? One of those guys who actually steals elections and stuff. Pretty crazy. Nicolas Maduro. Something like that. It was great, honestly. He hasn't faced punishment for his crimes yet, but I'm really hoping this turns to a weird bidding war with like Russia and China trying to be like, if you don't give him back, we'll attack you. And then I really hope Trump is just like, oops, wait, I'm gonna start with something that Trump does to really get into it. Let's see. The best, the ultimate. Okay. So basically, if Russia and China come, because they both get oil from Venezuela, I think. If I remember, or something like that, or Iran. I don't know, somewhere that's being affected by America existing. And so it's like, if those two superpowers come together, just be like, if you don't give him back, we're gonna mess you up. I really hope Trump just comes out and goes, well, I heard what you said, and I thought about it. Oh wait, give me a second. He holds up a phone to his ear. Oh, I see. Right. Thank you. And then he's like, well, too bad. Oopsies. He got the death penalty, and he's dead. So it's like, I don't really know where you can give the death penalty, but I hope Maduro can get given the death penalty. And if not, I hope he is returned to Venezuela in handcuffs with no armed guards to the Venezuelan people, so they can get their frustration, they can vent their frustrations or do a public execution or something over there. I don't know what they'd want to do. Actually, I mean, I don't, because America's always weird when it comes to like public executions. It's like, oh, those are so barbaric, we shouldn't do them. Well, sometimes you need to send a message, you know? Like, I feel like if Hitler was publicly executed, that would have, like, really impacted the Nazis, you know? Like, they wouldn't have been so bad. Like the neo ones, or whatever. Not that I really hear much about neo-Nazis, honestly. Like, actual neo-Nazis. All I hear about is, like, skinheads that end up in prison. But, like, I don't even... Like, well, they're already in prison. So, I don't know. But I mostly live under a rock. But anyway, so... the left is being really stupid because they're basically on the side of Russia right now, being like, you can't just get rid of a dictator, that's bad. Even though they've been saying, kill the dictator for months, basically. kill the supposed dictator, talking about Trump. Meanwhile, Trump captures actual dictator. Now they're defending a dictator. They went from defending fraud from people who weren't born in our country to, freaking out over, to defending, an actual, I think I said the word too much. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But, I'm just thinking of other bad things that people say. Anyway, Maduro's a dictator and he's bad, and I hope he gets some kind of death penalty. Either return to Venezuela, but making sure that there are American guards surrounding him up until he gets to specifically the people of Venezuela, not the government of Venezuela. And then, we let the people decide. And also, the people thinking this is going to start a world war, for one, the Venezuelan people are happy that he's gone. Even the people in Venezuela who don't like Trump, I saw a video about this earlier. Even the video, there's a video of some Venezuelan lady, or a lady in Venezuela who's like, you leftists are stupid. I don't like Trump either, but objectively, this is a good thing that he did. If you can't be objective about good and evil, you're stupid. Just shut up. It's hilarious. Even anti-Trump people, are thanking him for this. The anti-Trump people who aren't in America and aren't in Venezuela, of course, because, the people in America have never suffered from being under a dictator. Well, the leftists in America. So, it's pretty good. It's pretty bad day to be a lefty, They're gonna have to pivot points real soon again, I feel, because they just keep losing, right? And then what? Because so Iran's been getting better lately, and by better I mean better for the world, because the dictator there is really scared and trying to leave, I hear. I don't know where he plans on going, and I forget his name, honestly. Their names are so funny over there. No offense, it's just, at some point they all sound the same, and I don't want to be I just don't want to say anything. Say the wrong guy's name, don't want to insinuate somebody else's. But the dictator guy, well, I don't know if he's necessarily a dictator, but he rules with an iron fist and stuff, and imposes Sharia law and all that jazz. And so there's there's a storm of Iranian women going out and burning their hijab, their head covering things, right? Which is and they're dancing too, because so those two, so women have to wear hijabs, and then they can't dance in the streets. They're doing both right now, which means they're committing two crimes, and the regime can't do anything because they were annihilated in the 12-day war, basically. So many of their stuff was decimated. The only sad thing about Iran right now is that, technically, the bad regime is still in power, and that, what was the other one? I mean, technically in power, and then, oh, jeez, there's another thing. Well, if I can't remember, it must not be that bad. Well, that's not true, but it's just something people say. It must not be super important, but it's probably important. Anyway, cheers for, I'm really happy for the Venezuelans who are free from their dictator, and the Iranian women who are hopefully not temporarily free from Sharia law. I think Israel's been like hacking Iran's stuff as well, so like they're doing like an anti-Iranian regime campaign when they hack stuff, which is just really funny. Which like, I mean, look, as long as they're not like doxing people, I mean, it's a whole government. That's kind of like, I don't even know if you can really, because I mean it's the government, but like, say what you want about Israel. They're very funny when it comes to trolling Iran's government. But no, yeah, the Venezuelan dictator, he's in America currently. Which is like, I mean, I don't really want him here, but he's getting punished here, which is like, okay, whatever. If I had to choose, if I had to choose a punishment for a dictator, I would say, specifically in this instance, maybe there's different instances where different things apply, but like, for the Venezuelan one, I would say we could book him normally, but like, you know, just throw the book at him, but like, instead of that, what if we just like, what if we use some old laws, you know? What if we use some of the more biblical laws? I believe there's a law in the Bible that says, or maybe it's not the Bible, it might be a different religion. Actually, no, I think it might be Islam or Judaism. I don't know. There's an old law that basically says if you steal something and you're caught or whatever, you get your hands cut off. Now, normally, I think that's too far, but he's a dictator, and which means you probably stole the lives from his citizens as well as actual goods, probably. So, we cut his hands off, and then we return him to the Venezuelan people, and specifically the people, you know. Maybe we don't return, but like maybe we have like a see if we can get, because Venezuela's got to have like enough internet going on, right? Because I know India only got internet like 5 years ago or 6 years ago or something like that. 7, 8, I don't know. They got internet really recently. We're starting getting internet like everywhere recently, so I don't really know. But I would say, you know, do like you know how the government can like send out weather alerts or something, or I don't know how they do that, but they're like Amber Alerts and stuff. Can you do that for like the entirety of Venezuela, and it just sends you a link to like a prompt, and it's just like, you know, what do you want to do to the dictator, right? Because like, I don't know if we can bring him back there just yet, if he goes back there at all, you know? Like, what do you want to happen to your dictator, you know? Life in prison, or sentenced to death, or public execution? Your choice of location, as long as it's within the United States or Venezuela. I guess, you know, but they'd have to pick that one first, then they get to... Only the last one really offers a location. Because if he's going to prison, he's going to prison I don't want to say in America specifically, but it would probably either America or El Salvador, because that's where we send some of our foreign prisoners. So, really cool stuff. But no, that's my opinion now, Like, if he doesn't get the death penalty, life in prison. And I don't care what state he's in, he should be able to get the death penalty. Because some states in America are like no death penalty or something. It's like nope. This goes around that. This is a nationwide lawsuit or something. I don't know. Whatever the not a lawsuit. I don't know. I just use the term lawsuit, I guess. But I would say freedom. The freedom of the whole, it's like it's like a nationwide thing. So it's like the whole country gets to. But no, it would be like taking him to court for his crimes. I don't really remember what it's called. I'm not a lawyer or nothing. But I hear we have some Venezuelans who fled their country in America, so maybe they could go back. I mean, maybe not, but it's like if they're cool with living here, that's great. But maybe they have family in Venezuela that might still be alive or something, Maybe they want to go back, but they couldn't because they had a dictator, and they would have been killed if they went back. So, I mean, all the power to them, but as long as they're contributing in America, which I believe they would be, because I assume, because I've never had to experience it, I'm lucky to be born in America, but I assume if you escape from a dictatorship, you and then and you get safe passage or whatever into another country, you really make the most of it, if you're under an actual dictatorship. If you're fleeing for your life and then you get to another country, I'm pretty sure you would try to do the best you can to support the country that saved you, that is housing you. I would assume so, because you'd have to be grateful, right? I couldn't imagine if one were ungrateful. For saving a person from a war or a dictator or something, I couldn't imagine anyone being ungrateful for that. Well, Somali fraud and stuff. But I think Venezuelans are chill. Don't think I've met any, to be honest. I live in a very small bubble of the world. And I've never been to another country. But I'm okay with that. I don't know. It's as long as I'm good, it's all good, But no, I do wish the best for the world. It's just, I don't want people I know dying for the rest of the world. But obviously, I do understand the fact that for worldwide safety, which I do live in the world, some things have got to happen. And I don't think, no one was in danger, I don't think, this time. Maybe the people who went to Maduro's estate to nab him, I call it an estate, I don't know. But, But yeah, no. Be right back. And I'm back. But yeah. So alright, gotta start it. Dang it. Nope. Y'all didn't hear that. Mostly because it's copyrighted, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna finish driving this thing home. But yeah, no. So I'm really happy for Venezuela. I'm not too good at, I guess, showing my emotions, but I am really, and I'm not good at putting things in the words. But I'm really happy for Venezuela. It's really, it's interesting. The world is changing, and honestly, it's really funny on the American end because people on the left who hate Putin basically are officially on the same side as Putin right now. Right? Like, they're so stupid. Like, pick your side, you know? Are you on the same side? Do you want... Because, like, technically, this just nerfed Putin, right? Like, he's got to get oil or whatever from somewhere else. So, combine that with, like, just, like, the overall pressure and him being unable to, like, clean sweep Ukraine. It's like, I feel like the Russia-Ukraine war is going to come to an end. Because Putin's losing, and I don't think many countries want to work with him at this point. So, like, no offense, don't kill me, you know? But at the same time, it's like, you know, like like at some point he's gonna run out of options. Like he like with all the support Ukraine is getting, you know, and with all the not support he is getting now, or the less support he's getting, I don't know how useful oil is in war, but I assume oil is really useful for lots of things. So, you know, on the American end, we know they are, you know, regarded. We know the left is regarded. Let's just say. But, another box. Huh. Wonder what it could be. There's a box that came home yesterday, and that was a different one today. Anyway, that'll be it for this episode. So, thank you for listening to me. And I know politics is iffy with a lot of people, but it's a very important thing, you know? Gotta talk about it. You can't really not talk about it, you know? Like, if someone does objectively good, even if they are someone you disagree with and think is bad, like, you're stupid if you can't admit when somebody does something right. That's about, you know, that's about all that needs to be said about that. Congratulations to Venezuela. you know, I hope you guys can build yourselves back up with, I guess, presumably some amount of help from the United States. I know Trump said he was going to send oil companies or something, or well, the oil companies from America were to come over and like help redo the oil infrastructure or something. I don't know. They were going to pay, and that the oil companies were going to pay for that. So I don't know. I don't know. But it seems like stuff is going to be looking up, for you guys. So, and I hope it does stay looked up, because I know the U.S. has a bad history with this kind of thing. But to be fair, those other countries were shitholes to start with, They didn't really... Those countries had a long history of being crap. But you guys were being oppressed, and then we stopped you from being oppressed. So hopefully you guys will be able to not be oppressed anymore, Yeah, so thank you all for joining me. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, you don't have to. Have a great next 24 hours, and I'll see you next time I drive this podcast home. See ya!